Hi, welcome to Careerscast. And because I don't think there are a lot of Google directors recording YouTube videos, today I'm going to provide you with a unique perspective in what does it take to be a Google director and how a day in the life of a director looks like in big tech. My name is Marcio Saito. I was responsible for the systems and platforms supporting Google consumer products. So if you're using any Google product, you're interacting with systems I was responsible for. And I was there between 2020 and 2024, and I left at the end of 2024 to become a YouTuber. This should be interesting. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to Careerscast. I was a level 9 senior director at Google, and I have explained earlier why I left Google and became a YouTuber. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna point to that video so you can hear that story as well. For most of my career, I have been connected to Google as a customer, as a technology supplier, as an employee, and I still love the company. I do not intend to disclose any confidential information. I just want to give you, my audience, an idea of how big tech works. Google pays at the top of the range, which in California is about twice as much as the median salary in the market, and naturally seeks to attract the best prepared people. Google selects for general intelligence, technical expertise, analytical and problem solving abilities. Googlers must have good leadership skills and communication skills and thriving ambiguity. And that means they can operate in an environment with high levels of uncertainty. The Google hierarchy is based on internal leveling system. Level 3 to level 5 typically are individual contributors with college degrees. Level 6, level 7 are managers and senior managers. Level 8 is director. Level 9 is senior director. Level 10 is VP. And Google directors are considered part of the company leadership, and they are generously compensated. They make a lot of money. There are no hard rules, and it depends on the functional area. But an engineering level 8 director usually has between 50 and 100 reports. Level 9 director has between 100 and 400 reports, and a VP can have thousands of people reporting to them within the organization. Good Google leadership are prestigious titles both inside and outside the company. Google has a bottoms-up culture, which means leaders are not supposed to be the boss, the top-down boss, and tell other people what to do. Google leaders are supposed to be points of consolidation of communication and context and information rather than being the person who knows everything. Google employees expect leaders that have not only the management and leadership skills, but they also have an unquestionable technical expertise in the area of responsibility. So you cannot just be a manager to be a Google leader. You need to actually understand what people are doing and be able to do the job yourself if you needed to. In my role, I was a level 9 director. I had a handful of level 8 director reports. The team varied over time, but it was about 200 people when I left. They are mostly software engineers, data engineers, program managers, and product managers. And we are responsible for all the systems and platforms that supported the operation of the consumer product. So systems for customer support, systems for machine learning, systems for training of AI, systems for support to partnerships, they all develop within my organization, within a large organization at Google called GTech. Most of my time as a director was consumed within meetings and presentations, as you can imagine. I had a very large team, so I usually had, my routine was a one-on-one meeting per week with my direct reports. I had a team meeting with my direct reports per week as well. I had a larger management meeting with all the managers in the organization maybe once a month. And then I had an all hands meeting with the entire team once a quarter. And then the same thing worked upstream. I usually had a one-on-one with my VP per week, and I participated in several meetings and reviews, project review meetings during the month. So my calendar was pretty full. Google Director has usually has a business partner, someone who is managing my calendar, my contacts, my communication, helping me to manage the morale of the team, manage the culture, and communicate with the team. That pretty much takes all the time, all the effort for a Google leader. During certain parts of the year, there is a lot of additional work. Performance management is a big deal at Google. Hiring, interviewing, hiring is another big deal. And once a year, there is a budget discussions, which is very time consuming and usually happens in the beginning of the year. So those are the things that directors are typically involved with. In addition to that is really managing the team and taking care of people in the team. So what does it take to be a Google director? It takes all of the above, right? You need a good academic history, you need leadership, you need technical expertise, you need communication, analytical, and problem-solving abilities. As you would expect, you need 10 to 20 years of industry experience to be a director. But there is one factor that I think is very important, and most people don't pay attention to it. I was different because I was hired as a senior director from the outside, but most of senior directors and VPs at Google, they grew within the company. And when I look around, right, my peers, I noticed that a significant portion of the directors and VPs at Google, they are part of a very specific cohort, right? Around the early 2000s, Google was growing very fast, and Google was hiring a lot of people and a lot of smart people. And Google used to hire a lot from MBA, out of MBA school, and out of management consulting firms. People who are not very experienced, right? People who are just out of school, or they moved into Google as a second job in their career. And because Google was growing very fast, there was a lot of opportunity for growth inside the company. And the best of that cohort, right, climbed the hierarchy. 10 years later, they're all directors and VPs. So I think the lesson there is that becoming or climbing the corporate ladder, right? Of course, it has to do with merit, it has to do with competence, it has to do with technical expertise and leadership skills. But for you to go further, right, and become a director at Google is not easy. You need to be lucky as well. You need to you need to enter the company at the right moment, right? So if you enter Google today, right, as a level 5 engineer, for example, the odds that you're going to eventually become a VP are very small, right? Because Google is not growing as fast as it used to. So if you want stability, Google is still a great company. There is still a lot of interesting work there. But in terms of growth for ambitious people, right, you do better if you join a smaller company, a smaller technology company. The hockey stick is going to become exponential, and entering the company at that moment provides more opportunities for growth. Of course, provides more risk as well. But that's a trade-off, right? So Google is still a great place to work, but is no longer, right, the big opportunity for growth as it used to be in the early 2000s. I hope it is interesting to you. If you're curious about how I left Google, why I left Google, please watch the next video, which will also tell you how to go about considering proactively switching jobs. And I hope you liked it, and see you in the next episode of Careerscast.